Welcome to Destiny Digits. This is going to be the soul urge reading for soul urge number 1. So let's break this down. Just like you have sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node signs that you may follow in astrology, in numerology, you have 4 numbers that make up your core chart, right? There are many numbers that you can compute, but these 4 numbers generally just make up the core the core of who you are, and all the other numbers are complementary, right? They tell us the small details, but this is your core. So your life path is 40% of your core energy. Your expression is 30%. Your soul urge is 20, and your birthday number is 10. That should equal 100. So today we are working on the 3rd number, the soul urge number. You can find the videos for the life path and expression posted. And if you don't know how to find those, use the links in the description box. So in numerology, your soul urge talks about what your motivation. Okay. And the way you find this number is by isolating all the vowels in your full birth name. Okay. And that is how you find what your soul is motivated to do. So using your full birth name, first, middle, last, depending on culture. Some people have multiple middle names, some people have none. So whatever your birth name is, you can plug it into the link. It'll give you your soul urge number, and then you'll come back to this video. So if your soul urge is a number 1, that means you are motivated by being self-sufficient, by being a leader, a party of one. You can accomplish many things alone. You're very independent. Now, when we're talking about energy, there's a spectrum, right? There's high and there's low. So when you are your absolute best self, you exemplify independence, right? But when your energies are low, or the experiences that you are making your way through in life are not building you, it almost seems like they're breaking you. You're going to be or reflect someone that is dependent, right? You are very self-centered, impatient, impulsive, egotistical. Those are some of the lower vibrations of 1, right? But when you are vibrating high, you are motivated by your creativity. You're very original. You're pioneering. You're determined. Like, you go after things and you chase, right? And so if you're watching this reading, we will keep in mind that this is happening based on, or not that this is happening, but we will apply what motivates you, as we will use the assets that you bring as we make our way through this reading. If that's jumbled, my bad. We'll get through it. So first card we have is protection. Black Tourmaline. And so if you didn't know, you need to realize that you are safe, right? You have been through things, and you may have felt like a target. You may have felt like you were just in this, constant cycle of things feeling dark and going wrong. But that is a necessary step in your journey. It doesn't mean that any harm will come to you, and you're not alone, right? So you have, people, angels, ancestors in the stars above that are guiding you, loving you, they're loyal to you. And even if it appears that you are walking this path on earth alone, you are not. You are protected. And if you're interested, black tourmaline would be a crystal that many use, or to represent their divine protection. Next we have is compassion. Sometimes when we are walking through these darker periods in our life, it is very easy to become bitter, to blame, to become scorned, to become guarded, to not forgive, to hold on to things, right? Every experience is just a bag, right? We leave that experience, but we carry that bag with us that has all of the things that we that we went through, good and bad. And then we go into the next experience and we're already walking in with a bag. When that experience ends, we do the same thing. We collect everything, put it in the bag, and walk away. And so those don't have to be relationships. Those can be just life events. And so I say that because compassion is required in order to do this well. When I say this, I mean like conquer this life, right? In order to conquer it well, we need to know that things happen for a greater good, right? No matter how it feels. And so I think Spirit is asking you to offer yourself compassion. We have many people that enter our lives that cause us much pain, right? And they're playing a role, they're actors, right? And we have to have compassion for those people. We need every moment. We need the good and we need the bad to live this life well. So step out, get a bigger view, and realize that all of this is a part of your story that will make you great, that will help you get to the desired outcome. So you're protected, and just have compassion for the experience. Go through it holistically and authentically, but don't carry anything with you to the next level. Excuse me. Okay. Every time you complete a relationship, you leave a job, you go through something with someone else. When that moment ends, reflect, do what you need to do, but don't collect things, right? Leave them where they were, because you're going to need the strength. You're going to need, the clarity and the focus for the next mission. But it's hard to do that I just keep seeing 10 of Wands. It's hard to do that if you're not looking up, your head's down, and you're carrying a heavy load. Next card we have is Rites of Passage. And so immediately, Spirit is saying that everything that you are going through was written before you began the journey, right? And all of this, I just thought of a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout, right? And every life experience that you go through is giving you like a spiritual pin, a patch, a badge that you can wear on your vest, right? And so we can't see them because we're collecting them in spirit. But, in order to be a Girl Scout or Boy Scout, like there are things that you have to do at certain times that represent your growth. I even think about, having a quinceañera when you turn 15. There are milestones, and the journey to the milestone could have been rocky, right? But it's the fact that you made it to the end of that experience, because now you get a patch, right? And a patch is wisdom. A patch is intuition. A patch is forgiveness. It's fearlessness. It's overcoming ego. It's releasing a fear of abandonment, right? Every experience is supposed to make us a scout. Like we are spirit scouts, right? And so I feel like the divine knows what we are made of, and when we are in things that make us feel vulnerable, unsafe, uncomfortable, used, abused, I think it's important to remember that there is a badge at the end of this. There's a patch at the end of this that will show that we have matured past this level. We have accomplished and achieved all that was in front of us, and now we can go on to the next thing. But too often we get caught up in the journey, and we don't remember that at the end that will signify that something within us has grown and shifted. After this, we have emotional healing. And so I feel like the rite of passage for you is that you have overcome some sort of emotional trauma, right? And we begin collecting trauma in the womb. Way before we take our first breath of this earth air, we are already enduring that in which our environment is enduring, right? So we literally could be battling, next card is conflict. We could be battling things from our life in the womb, the things that our mothers and fathers endured. We could be battling things that happened after our birth, in our adolescence, our teenage years, our young adult years, right? And so all of this conflict is not just to make you feel broken, depressed, and bogged down. It is a rite of passage for you to complete the mission, the badge, the patch for emotional healing. And in order to heal emotionally, Spirit is asking you to have compassion for all the actors that showed up in your life to play a role, right? Their role is what would trigger you to need emotional healing because they would wound you in some way, right? And nobody has your story. Your story is unique to you. You were selected to come here and to walk that path. And Spirit says, even when people don't understand you, even when people don't really recognize the gifts that you have, even when people don't know the power you have and they abuse you, that can feel very lonely. It can feel like you're a target, a lifelong victim. But remember, all of this is a rite of passage, and you were never not protected. No matter what you went through, you were never not protected, right? So those are the messages I got from the, I'm going to take emotional healing and conflict and just put them to the side and keep these three on the table. But we will definitely refer to them. I just need to make space. And at the bottom of the deck, we have past life, right? So, not everything that's happening to us in this life is because we carried a bag from one experience to the next. Sometimes we carry bags from past lives. So keep that in mind, right? This is your chance to rectify not only things that have happened in this life, but in the lives before. So this is a big moment. And it may seem like you are always enduring and dealing with conflict and you are always being wounded in your heart space. But it is those wounds that will release you from all the burdens, all the bags you've been carrying around. So at your soul level, right? And you are a human vessel to act out the mission of the soul that you carry. Okay? And that soul had some baggage from other lives. And it is through your human vessel that soul can start to release and grow. Right? It's necessary. It's painful, but it's necessary. Okay, now I'm going to pull 3 numerology cards. And then we'll take note of what's on the bottom of the deck. So next to protection, we have cooperative and adaptive. Something that came to my mind. So what is motivating you right now? Remember, this is a soul urge reading. You are motivated. One, you're independent. Let's not forget that. You're a leader, right? You're a leader. So you want to lead your life in a way that you have never seen it done before. So what I'm thinking of is like somebody who is breaking generational curses. You want your life to look unlike those that you were raised around, those that you're connected to, the relationships that you've been drawn to. Like you want your life to reflect you and not where you've been. Okay. And that is a journey that is unique to you. You started this journey, this adventure in lives before, and you have an opportunity to continue and to complete something in this life from the others, right? And so this takes many lives to get through. Many lives. And so this is a pivotal moment for you, right? And you are motivated by your ability to be bold. You're a pioneer. You're determined. And anything that you do in your life, you lead with resilience, right? You're extremely ambitious. And so what motivates you are those energies, the energies of being a one-man show, a pioneer, a trailblazer. And in this current situation, you are going to use those energies to help you heal past life trauma. Why are you doing that now? Because this is where you get to collect your reward and progress past this, right? So have compassion as you deal with this. So next to protection, we had cooperative and adaptive. And I feel like that you need to cooperate with spirit, right? You need to tap in, connect, meditate, pray, whatever that is for you. You need to understand that you are not like, you can contact home. You are not neglected, right? And so something bigger is assisting you and you need to work with it. You need to listen. You need to feel. You need to vibe high. Next to compassion, we have ambitious and big thinker. Those are high vibrations of 8. And I feel like, you know, 8s are moguls. They're bosses, right? And so I feel like you need to be a leader. Like, it's very easy for somebody to cause you pain and then to sit around with people who seem to care about you and talk trash at the, you know, about the person that did something wrong. Like, that's easy. But I think Spirit is saying, I need you to do what most people don't do. I need you to think above the situation. I need you to think above the person. I need you to think above the organization. I need you to see things from a larger perspective, because when you have compassion for all the actors and actresses and scenes that have happened in your life, when you have compassion, you're like, oh, I needed that so that I could get here. Or like, you realize, spiritually speaking, everybody is on your team. But the role they're playing appears to be one of an adversary, right? So have compassion for yourself, for the fact that as humans, we many times are ignorant to what we are called to do until we're not, you know? So bring love into the situation, right? And move forward with ambition. Like, and that's what you are known for as a leader. You are motivated by your drive. Okay. So think bigger, add love into the situation. The crystal for compassion is emerald. Next, this is our Rite of Passage. I only need one. Right. So the message from Spirit is that the way that we are going to push through the troubles of our past life, 1 is to know we're protected. 2 is to navigate this life with compassion for all involved. And 3, to realize that we are completing something. We are about to cross into a threshold spiritually, you know, physically here on earth that we've never been through before. And this was already the plan, right? We don't know though. We don't always know, but this was already the plan. Next to Rite of Passage, we have influential and boss status, right? So let me just say this. Your Rite of Passage may lead you to a reward, and your reward may be that you have a podium. Doesn't matter the type of platform, doesn't matter what you're creating, but you have a podium that you are supposed to be standing on. That podium could be a book. That podium could be a song. The podium could be a painting. The podium could be any social media platform. Nonetheless, there is a podium that you are supposed to be standing on once you make it through what you're going through, because you are supposed to be a way shower for others. And that's literally what you are as a 1. Like, you are an influencer before influencers was like even a word, like, you know, this new thing. Like, that is the energy that motivates you. That is your soul urge. Your soul is fighting to lead something in your life. Why is it fighting to lead something? Because there are followers that you need to collect, not baggage, followers, right? You are a boss. So when you complete this in your life, I don't know why I'm shuffling. When you complete this in your life, when you get your badge, your patch, and you iron it on your little vest, like, prepare for what comes next. Like, you're not done. You're not done. But the journey behind you is necessary to share with others as you get to this next phase, because an audience is coming, right? An audience is coming. So keep that in mind. Whatever it is you are supposed to lead, whatever podium you are supposed to have, you are very original and creative. Okay? So you know what it is you want to create in your life. And most times you need to do it alone. One, because you're one and that's what motivates you and that's your energy, but it's unique to you. So I would make sure to create and to tap in private. Don't share until you're ready. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, we have nurturing and stable, right? And so these could be energies that were not present in your past life. So, these are high vibes of 6. 6 is about responsibility. It's about love. So bring love into this life, love that was absent from your past lives. Love yourself, love the story, love the plays, the actors, the actresses, like, love it all, right? Nurture yourself as you go through these experiences. Okay, now we're going to add tarot. I like to do a 9-card box spread with the center card being kind of like our message. All right, Spirit. So we understand that we are moving through this life, and some of the energies we carry are from our past life, right? If we didn't know before, we know we are protected. We will strive to bring compassion into the experiences that we have, because we understand that we are going through a rite of passage, and these energies are necessary for us to progress through this life. So I say all that to say, what can we know now? Now, what do we need to know? What can we see in detail about where we've been, where we are, and where we're going? Okay, so at the center of this 9-card box spread, I still have to put the top row on, but at the center we have Justice. Like, one of my favorite cards, right? Because when you know that you are a good person, you have no ill will, even to those that have done you wrong, somehow you still come back around feeling bad for them. But when you know you are a good person, like, Justice is like your best friend, And when justice comes, the only people that are afraid are those that didn't lead with integrity. You know how you have those street angels and house devils? The people where in the public everybody thinks they're perfect and all is well, but then they go home and their entire family is terrified of them. You know what I mean? That's not integrity. Integrity is doing what's right, no matter who's looking, no matter what is being done to you or around you. You stand on truth. You have values. There are non-negotiables that lead your life. All right, Spirit, one more. So this is a time of justice, right? This is a time of justice. You are building something. You are a part of something. This 4 of Wands that comes before this, it can represent, marriage. It can talk about 2 people that have joined and they created something that others could see. And after this card, we have justice. So if you, let me just say this. I feel like if you are involved in a relationship, if you're if you're a part of an organization, if you are in something that others can see, something that you passionately created with someone else, and justice comes, something here was off balance, right? And so as things are played out, as the scales are balanced out, as everything is made fair for all parties involved, this is where that compassion comes in, right? So no matter what is being revealed, no matter what truths are about to come out about this commitment of whatever that you were into, Spirit is saying, respond with compassion. Let compassion lead you. Let compassion guide your thinking. Let that guide your ambition for how you'd move forward next. After justice, we have the Chariot, which talks about, fast progress. It could talk about travel. Something is changing for the better, but it's something you can't stop, right? It's something you have no control over. But after justice, we have the energy of the Chariot. So things are balanced. What wasn't fair is becoming fair. And then we have this explosion of momentum that takes us forward. And it could be physical travel. But nonetheless, I feel like you had to get in a relationship that seemed unfair in order to kick this off in your life. So whatever it is that you were just committed to or tied to, that you passionately were invested in, you know that something wasn't as it seemed. But Spirit is saying it is necessary, because this is the middle row is the current reality. But Spirit says that was necessary for you to kind of line your pockets with the rewards that you earned, like you earned something, right? And so sometimes we're put through tests. We involve ourselves in things that look one way, but spiritually, these are really just tests, and these are trials to move us to the next phase. Justice and the Chariot are the major arcana, which means that like these are major life shifts and energetic changes that you have no control over, but it's really about the way you respond, right? So when justice comes in as a result of this, Four of Wands, everything after that is going to accelerate. Okay? And there are no breaks on Chariots. Now, before we got to this justice row, this is where we were at the bottom, right? This takes us back to this Rite of Passage. So this will reveal something that hurt us. So it looks like whatever we were committed to, that Four of Wands, it left us defeated, right? This is when we are involved with people who really want to see our head on a platter. Like they seem like they're on our team, but in reality, they are doing everything possible to defeat us. They don't want to win, and they want to win at all costs. Can you imagine being in a relationship, working for that kind of company, having parents or siblings or relatives that are operating in that energy, where they only feel happy when you've lost, when you've struggled, when you have nothing? And so it seems like those were the type of people or experiences that were around you, but those were all a part of your passage, right? Those are the things that are going to contribute to you getting your badge, your patch. Next, we have the Page of Swords. So I think that this is where, and it's under justice. So Page of Swords, it's almost like the energy of a novice, right? So when we're talking about the journey of swords, pages, it's an energy that we are just getting into, right? This is an energy that we haven't mastered, and we're not really comfortable enough approaching it, but we are playing with this idea of truth and clarity and of revealing things that are hidden from us, right? And so Swords talks about clarity, it talks about truth, but as a page, the way that you go about finding it is a little bit clumsy. It's not refined. It's messy. Like your heart is in the right place because you know something is off, but you just haven't yet mastered the pursuit of how you go after truth. And so I feel like and the page comes right beneath the justice. And I think justice came to somebody that had been sneaking around or attempting to hide something, or to, what did I say? I talked about street angel, house devil, And so I feel like there was an energy that was off, but you were learning how to go after truth. You were learning how to give yourself clarity about a situation that you were involved in, right? You became the page. You're like, I'm going to find out something. Like, something is off. This doesn't feel right. And so I feel like what you were supposed to do is exactly that, to trust that something is off, and you need to find your truth. And I think that is what triggered the justice, right? And remember, after justice, we move quickly. And so after we pursue what we don't know, I'm so sorry for blah, blah, blah. After we pursue this continuous cycle with whoever or whatever that leaves us feeling lost, defeated, like enough is enough. Like, we want to rid ourselves, our mind. We want an experience that reflects who we are. So that's justice. Beneath the Chariot, we have the Four of Cups. And this is like about not being content, right? So this is like, look, there are 3 cups on the ground. It's like I've invested myself into 3 or more experiences, right? I've been in many situations where I've given my heart, and all my cups are empty. Like, people are just wasting the best parts of me and walking away, right? But the thing is that this energy is looking down and kind of wallowing about all these crappy experiences. It could have been through this Page of Swords energy, this push to find out the truth, that you realize something. Now you know the truth. So, like, what do you do with it? Now, the 3 cups on the ground talk about other situations that you have been in that have left you feeling hopeless, lost, unfulfilled, right? But then we have this 4th cup being offered to you. And I feel like that spirit is saying, listen, you were involved in a situation that was sketchy. They were not out for your best, right? You thought it was something real, genuine, passionate, stable, secure. You thought that. But behind the scenes, you were able to discover that this person was no good. This group was no good. These family members were no good. But it was necessary for your journey. Now I'm offering you a cup. I'm offering you something to get up from under this tree. Okay? I'm offering you something that you can pursue. Now you can sit and you can look at these 3 cups, and you can cry about being rejected and nobody ever filling your cup like you filled theirs. Or you can accept what I'm giving you, and we can attempt to establish stability. And so because the Chariot is above this, which talks about forward motion, progress moving forward, I feel like you took the cup, okay? You know you need to take the cup, and you know that this situation is not for you. Right? And it's when you are able to walk away from bullies, manipulative people, it's when you are able to walk away that they actually begin to learn, right? Because people that are in this energy of winning at all costs probably always win, because everybody walks away. But I feel like when you take this cup, this is your ability to restore yourself and to realize, like, this is some BS. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like this cup repairs you. And most people want to see you walk away in tears. But if you leave something with your head up and your heart up, like, what's better than that, right? Because we can't control the experience, but we can control how we respond. So Spirit is saying you need to respond like a boss. Now that you know the truth, you need to be a boss and push your life forward, right? It's only up from here. But this was necessary. So then that brings us to the top row. This was when Spirit gives us this fourth cup down here and things start to progress really fast and change. I feel like this, if you didn't know you were protected, I feel like this is a great transition into you understanding, one, you are an asset to Spirit, right? And two, you carry something extremely worthwhile. Like the fact that you are protective and taken care of no matter what you're involved in says that you have something that is valuable to souls, and it needs to be protected while you endure this journey called life. Okay. So we take this cup. Justice comes, truth is revealed, we move forward, and now we're at the energy of the Three of Wands. And this is somebody who already knows that they can create things. They already know that the passion within them is something that they can trust, right? And so, you took the Ace of Wand, you were able to turn it into 3, and now you're like, now that I know I can do this, what is coming next? What can I count on? Right? Because I know that when I follow my creativity, I know that when I adapt to situations, I know that when I cooperate with this life, I am able to manifest and turn nothing into something, right? Because that's a reflection of what's in me. So Spirit is saying that as you get into this space of waiting for what lies ahead based on plans that you've made and desires that you carry, you need to wait with patience, Temperance card, right? This is that angelic protection and guidance. And this is saying establish peace, be patient with yourself, right? Temper your emotions with your physical world, with your enlightened mind. Really align everything within you because you went through something that, kind of shook you up. But as a 1, you most likely are completing, accomplishing, achieving, pursuing something alone because you really do have everything within you. Now, above the Chariot, which is like that momentum, the movement forward, we have the moon. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, this is why you need to be patient, because the moon is, it talks about things hidden, secrets, things we can't see, things we don't know. And so Spirit is saying that as you go through, you've just completed this rite of passage. You're protected, but there's more to come. You don't really know where you're going, but you have an idea of what you want to see. But just because you're in this Three of Wands energy of like waiting for what you desire to come in, it doesn't mean it's going to look like what you want it to look like, right? Because the moon follows. So Spirit is saying, listen, whatever is about to come in, I need you to be tempered. I need you to be balanced. And it doesn't have to be something bad. It just has to be something that you can't see, that you didn't count on, that you didn't, you know what I mean? Like it's just something that you didn't envision. But you need to be tempered for 2 things. 1, because you're waiting. You don't need to wait with anxiety. You don't need to wait with doubt. You need to wait with a balanced mind, an open heart. You need to wait, understanding that you don't even wait alone. You are surrounded by spiritual assistance, right? And so wait gracefully, wait peacefully, wait patiently, right? Because you don't even know what you don't know yet. And sometimes that's uncomfortable. At the bottom of the deck for tarot, we have the 5 of Wands, which talks about conflict, right? And remember, when I pulled those extra cards, I talked about them, but I put them to the side. Conflict is here, but this is the kind of conflict that comes up in our life in order to trigger emotional healing. Like in order to get things to come up and to get out of you, it has to be triggered. And so conflict is really a reflection of our growth. And the conflict that you are enduring in this life is really from your past life, right? So as you go through this, remember to be nurturing to self, the experience, and no matter what you're going through, attempt to find stability. Attempt to find stability. Right? All right, ones, you are trailblazers. You are really kicking off something amazing in your life. And it's not easy, but it's necessary for you to achieve and accomplish whatever you have. Ready, waiting, it doesn't matter. Locked and loaded, like you are about to accomplish something, but these obstacles, these struggles, these letdowns, these people, places, and things were just showing up to make sure you got to where you were supposed to get to, even if it meant you had to be extremely uncomfortable and broken as you went through it. All right, take care.